So I raised my kids in a certain way. I raised my sons to be gentlemen, right? I raised my sons to be gentlemen, open the doors for women, treat women with respect and all that stuff. And one of the things you told me last week was what?
With that, in this generation, you can't treat everybody like that
Why?
because not everybody deserves to be treated like that.
Okay, so you said you went to school and what happened? You said I taught you a certain thing and then you went to school.
Oh, you taught me how to treat women right, and then I went to school like treating like basically treating women like that. But at the same time, like I said, not everybody deserves to be that kind of treatment.
So
So
what do you
like,
treat people like now?
I mean, I treat people good in general, but I just watch who I like keep around.
Yeah.
But
So he said he went to school thinking everybody was good, everybody had a good heart, and then he had to learn the hard way that
everyone's not that way.
everybody's not that way. But one of the things my son also said, which made me proud, is that it all he said he went to school, he got disappointed, right? But then you also said it made me strive to for what I want in a wife, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Expound on it.
Basically, like it just made me like it elevated my standards because like now I know what I want in a woman, like, and I know like all the things my mom's accomplished as a person. So like, seeing that because a lot of people aren't the same as my mother. Like a lot of people aren't going to try to accomplish the same things that my mother's accomplished. So just having her in general is like kept my standards high as like what I want in a person. So.
So he made me cry last week when he said that, and I'm a thug, and so I don't be crying, but with my son, because he just came out the blue, we was driving to the airport, and he said, "Mom, I was just thinking today, like I'm so blessed because you said how many mothers will work like 10, 15 hours a day, come home and take care of everybody." And my son, this is the one when I will be at work at 10 o'clock at night, he will call me and be like, "Mom, come home. Mom, come home." And that's when I will pack everything up and I come home because this one right here. But everything I do is like, and I have 40s. I have four of them. But everything I do, this is my life's purpose. They are my why. This is why I do what I do. I want to help other people to be able to create that. But one of the things for me that's so important is that no matter what I present on social media or in the public or who people think I am or whatever, it means nothing if my kids don't respect me. It means nothing if my kids think I'm trash. So for the fact that, and my kids don't dole out compliments very easy. These they don't. We clown a lot. So for him to say that, it means a lot. I was actually having a conversation with your brother last week. I don't think I told you. I think I may have told you. But one of the things that Kyron was saying, plug that light up. One of the things that Kyron was saying, because I had moved to the East Coast last year. No, the black one. I moved to the East Coast last year, and it was a really hard transition for my kids. Well, mainly for my middle son. My middle son wanted to stay because he had basketball, he had his friends and everything. So he wanted to stay in California. I moved him out here, and he was miserable for a whole year, and it just killed me. I would be so stressed and so depressed, and when he stayed in California, I was stressed and depressed. And then when he came and he was so miserable, I was stressed and depressed. And I would get up and I would go to I would call my girlfriends and be like, "Did I make the right decision?" And so last week when he and my middle son, not him, but my other son, were hanging out, and he said, "Actually, Mom, I'm glad you did this." And I never thought I would hear him say that. And he said, "I really got a chance," because he had no friends and he was just in his room all the time. And he was like, "I really got some time to do some like self reflection. And I'd never gotten a chance to self-reflect before. And it was something that I really needed to do. So I'm not mad." He said, "Last year I was mad at you all year, but now I'm happy that we ended up making this transition because I really got to do some self-reflection." So it made me feel like even, so I just want to tell this to you, to the people who are listening, that even when you make a decision, and it may be a hard decision, because that was hard. Like there was many a times where I was just like, was this the right thing? And you want your kids to be happy, because the way I am is I love my kids so much. Everything I do is for them and just trying to think of their best interest. And when they're not happy, I'm not happy. I internalized that. And my middle son, I felt everything he was feeling. So for him to say now, Mom, I needed that. I'm glad you did it. That's huge, So I appreciate what we have. Another thing that we do that I've done with my kids since they were little, we're gonna just transition this. It's okay though. It's okay. It's okay because we're going with the flow. One of the things that I did with you guys since you guys were small is we would sit down with each other, and this is I'm sharing this because this might be something that people can do with their children, right? We sit down as a family and we tell each other what we love about each other, right? So and especially the boys, they hate it. I think the last time you weren't here, the last time we did it, it was just the boys, and they were like, they hated it. But they've been doing this since they were little. And Chayil is the glue. So when Kai came back in the house, I think that also made a difference with my my older son, or my middle son. But they sit down and they tell each other, like, even if they don't want to, they tell each other the good attributes.
I'm sorry. What?
How did you feel about that exercise that I've done with you guys since you were little, about telling each other how you felt about each other, like sitting down and making y'all tell each other, or having that moment, those moments when you guys, through the times you guys were growing up?
I just gave it gave us a chance, or it gave me a chance to just be reflective on just my relationships and stuff with my brothers and my family, and how I feel, like really tap into my into my emotions and feelings, and because I didn't really know how to like translate like my emotions and my feelings, so giving me a chance to express that. So yeah.
What about you, Warren?
I always felt corny with it, but I like that we could like tell each other how we feel about each other, because sometimes I notice, like, I mean, we don't always like tell each other and talk to each other about stuff like that. So it can have a positive effect. And like I notice, like on like with Kyron, like I'll tell him, like I'll talk to him and just tell him some of the stuff I like that he's doing, and I realize like it'll really help him. So like it helps him more than I thought it would. So I guess it's a good thing. Yeah, but I did feel corny.
Do you
That's crazy. When I say stuff to y'all don't be caring.
No, actually, it obviously does make a difference.
I mean, wait, obviously, but Kyron and Camille could care less if I say.
I mean, obviously, in their face, like when I say stuff, they look like they don't care. But I'm saying, like internally, it probably hits, but they're not gonna have a reaction.
Yeah, and then I think it really does like make a difference, because even the other day he sent you something. What did he send you?
I want the gang. I want the mom. What are you thinking?
No, it was somebody when you realize.
Yeah, I know when you realize your sister's gang. That's why I said.
And I was like, "What is that?"
You're like, gang?
Yeah. So like they.
Yeah, when you realize when you get older and you realize your older sister is actually gang. Gang, 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 gang.
Yeah. So anyway, that I thought that was dope because you guys, especially the older two, you guys really tell each other how you feel. The other ones, they gonna come along. Actually, Kyron has come, my middle son, he's come along with that. He's gotten more emotionally intelligent.
Think about it. When you were 14, 15, were you like that? Were you expressive like that?
No.
Exactly.
But you know what my dad did?
That's why the youngest one is like, that's why, I mean, a lot of us, we didn't start becoming expressive until recently.
I do remember, though, my dad sitting down with us when I was a teenager and telling us what we meant, like each of us meant to him, like how much he loved us and what we meant to him. He didn't ask us to do it, but I remember him doing that for us. And so that made me want to make sure that you guys understood that, how I feel about you guys. But it makes a difference. I think it really makes a difference. What is like one, think about this. What is one lesson that you've learned that I've taught you, we're going to shift gears, that you think that you'll take and maybe that you'll teach to your children, Warren and Kai? Who want to go first? Chayil, you go first. What's one thing that I've taught you that you want to take?
Yeah, you got it.
Now you going to do that?
Shut up. Why am I blank? Because I tell people this all the time. What is that thing that I be telling people? Like, I be like, oh, my mom does this. And then when I have kids, I'm definitely going to be like this. I be saying that. I think the work ethic, it's like, okay, I'm a parent. I want to be a parent that, like, as a parent, you should be the provider for your kids. Like, if they want to get some new shoes, you have to have, like, like, work for the new shoes. But if you have an idea that you want to do a lemonade stand to make those new shoes, the parent will help you get the supply for the lemonade stand. Like, help provide for you so you can be able to, make a way for yourself type thing. I want to be like, even like, how you are with me now in my 20s. Like, you make sure, like, I don't take it for granted, but you also, like, make sure that I have, like, the necessities that I need. Or, like, even when I started my business, my hair business, you were like my angel investor at first, like, investing in me so I could, like, be able to make more money. I want to do the same thing with my kids, like, help them. Like, I don't want them to try to, like, have to make it out the mud if they don't got to, like, it's like, it teaches your parents, because people think that the kids are just going to be, like, spoiled or not appreciative and all that type of stuff. It's not that. Like kids are whatever that they see that their parents are going to be. So they see their parents are compassionate. Your kid is going to be compassionate no matter what you do for them type thing. So it's like, you taught me, like, to just be I guess, like, provide, like, still, like, still provide for your kids, still be a parent at the end of the day. But, like, not spoil them too much.
Yeah.
To the point that they don't have to, like, that they don't know work ethic, or they feel like they deserve those things type thing. But yeah.
What about you, dude?
I would say probably like the way you, like, empower us, the way, like, you speak, the stuff you speak into us, because like especially in the world, like, everybody's a hater. Everybody, especially if you got something going for yourself, you're gonna have haters. And so, like, a lot of people just need or would like to have somebody there for them who's telling them, like, you can do it. You're gonna accomplish this. And you always see, like, the good in people. You always see what people can accomplish, and you never see the negatives. You'll never look down on anybody. Not like that. So,
it's crazy. You are a lot like that, though. You are a lot like Mom in, like, a lot of ways. Like, it's like you do that. Like, you don't be, like, talking negative about anybody. You always, like, try to see the good in people. Like, you don't, like, you are a lot like Mom. Even certain people could do you dirty. You still don't have, like, remorse.
Yeah, I blame my dad and Warren. I always say Warren is a lot like my dad, because my dad, he drives me crazy because he's so kind-hearted, and so I be having to, like, go up to bat for him, but then I'm sort of that way to ways that you have to go up to bat for me, and so and then Warren kind of took after us. But you're the same way too, Kai. But you're a little bit more, you a little bit more no nonsense, like,
I got a mix of my father and my mother.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to help, like, provide, like.
Definitely got a mix.
Huh?
So you definitely got a mix.
I do.
What does that mean?
I got a mix of my, like, I will still, like, try to, like, help as much as possible, but I'm, like, cautious on who I help. Like, you gotta tell me the conditions before I try to help you. I gotta.
You ain't write no blank checks.
Right.
You ain't saying, yeah, you gonna say no first, or let me see what's going on before I say yes.
Yeah.
And my behind, I just be like, yes. Well, if I got it, why not? And then you like, wait a minute, let me.
Right. How many people you don't ask? You got, how long have you been doing this? 2 weeks, and you still ain't, you got all this money.
Yeah.
I'll be overanalyzing.
Yeah. I love the transition that we moved out here to the East Coast, because that's what my kids are now exposed to, as opposed to when I was in California. We lived in a affluent neighborhood, and we were the only Black people. right? We were the only Black people. We were the youngest and the Blackest. And then we come to an affluent neighborhood here, and we're everybody's Black, and now we're the poorest. So it's great because then my kids have something that they can. That's a joke. We're not the poorest, but I'm just saying there are a lot of wealthy.
You ain't gonna put no poor energy in my life.
I'm not. This is a joke. Hopefully y'all understand a joke, but I'm just saying they have something that they can see. They see Black excellence, and I love that. This has been really a good time, and one of the things that I'm super happy about, this transition has to move into the East Coast has been tough. But here's the thing. I spent so much time building my business. I spent so much time chasing the bag, getting educated, going after the money, that I missed out on a lot of stuff for my kids. And these two grew up, my kids grew up so come closer. These two grew
close as I can be.
They grew up so fast. And I turned around and they were grown. And so being out here,
he ain't that grown.
But being out here though, now here's the thing. I take my boys to school every day. I pick them up every day. I'm spending time with all my kids, and I have more quality time. And so I did, me working that hard. I don't regret. I don't have any regrets, but at least now I get to really, really, really spend time with you guys in a way that I really want to, even though the younger two are like, Mom, please go away. One thing I could say about my kids, all four of my kids, and here's where I'm blessed at. And I definitely attribute to their dad as well. They're trifling, they're lazy, they're beautiful. I love them. They're awesome. They're amazing. They get on my nerves. They're all of the things that kids are, right? One thing I can tell you.
We dumb.
You ain't dumb. They're brilliant. No, they're brilliant, but they trifling, right? They brilliant and trifling. One of the things I can really see, they nasty.
We ain't.
They nasty. But anyway, okay. But one of the things I can say about my kids is when they go out, they represent me very well. And I'm super proud about that. Because when they go out in the streets, when people see them, if you ever see my kids, I always get this. I seen your son, Camille. I seen your son, Kyron. I see your son, Warren. I seen Chayil. And they all represent me very well. And I'm blessed.
9 times out of 10, they don't know that a lot of their friends don't know that they got a sister, though.
Why?
I don't know. They don't be knowing.
How come they don't know y'all? Why you don't talk about tell people you got a sister?
I be telling people I got a sister. They just, I don't know. I mean, what they got to know I got a sister for, though? Like,
what you trying to holler?
Girl,
what they need to know about you for?
No, it's like just the fact that like whenever they like, they ain't gonna talk about it.
No, go ahead.
No, like I'm saying when they around like their father, when they have like games and stuff, like they don't really emphasize like he doesn't really emphasize that he has like a daughter too. Just mostly sons. Exactly. I don't understand why she be asking me questions.
I didn't know that's what you was gonna say.
That's what I was gonna say. That's why I would have. You gotta trust me. Yeah, you should have trusted me. Right, Cookie? Mm-hmm. The cat just jumped on the thing.